Welcome to my channel, Lillian's Garden. In this video, I'm going to share 12 tips on how you can start a yam farm in your garden. And I'm going to be concentrating on using the yam in bags system. If you want to grow your own yams successfully, this video will be a guide to help you understand the basic things that you would need. The first things will be a portion of your garden that is not concrete. You need to have a surface soil that you can place your yams in bag onto. This place should receive 8 hours of sunshine daily because the yam loves sunshine. You should also have a source of water close by. You need to plan how you get water throughout the 6-7 month period that you will be growing in. Either a well, a pipe, a tank, a tap. This should be well planned in advance because the yam needs to be watered every other day. You can't depend on rainfall even in rainy season. If it doesn't rain frequently enough, you water it by pouring a bowl of water into each bag and you water the ground around the bag. You will need to get 20 bags because I'm going to be working from a calculation of 20 yams. You can multiply this and make it into 40, 60. It can be cement bags, rice bags, or the merchant bags. Usually the size will be 70 centimeters by 40 centimeters. That's the size of the Portland cement bag. And this bag will be able to house this yam because this yam is 40 centimeters from here to here, and also around it's about 35 centimeters. So when you are growing your yam in the bag and you are going to have to place a hole at the base of the bag, just a little portion of it may go into the soil, but the remaining 30 centimeters will conveniently stay inside a 70 centimeter bag. And we're going to place holes at the base of this bag. The holes have to be large so that the roots can grow out and a portion of the yam can also grow out. We would need sand, gardening sand, a truckload, or if you are able to dig it up from your garden, just have enough to fill 20 bags. Have the soil in 2 piles and pick out all the stones and sticks, and then try to break up the clumps in the soil. Also, you can use a basket to sieve the soil. You want to make sure as much as possible there aren't stones in the soil, because when the yam starts to germinate, the roots will form, and then about 6 weeks later, that little yam will come as a very small balloon, and it expands like a balloon. And you understand when a balloon is expanding, that's how the yam grows. So if there's a stick or a stone, it will be embedded into the yam, and this can allow pests and diseases to damage our yam. So you want to make sure that your soil is continuous, doesn't have sticks and stones and rubble in it, and don't let it be clumped together. Next, you need a bucket of chicken poop, because chicken poop is the best fertilizer for yams, and I'm going to explain to you in a minute. First, I would say the bucket of chicken poop is the bucket that you usually have maybe for a bath or something. So this bucket is the large bucket. That's the amount of chicken poop that we need. Chicken poop is the best fertilizer for yams because unlike cow, goats, and other animal poop, chicken poop contains the waste of all the different types of fruits, insects, fishes, lizards that the birds eat. So the diet of the chicken is quite rich and is able to feed our yam, because the yam is a very serious feeder. We need chicken poop in the soil to get a very good result. If we use cow, horse, goat, or sheep manure, those are herbivores, so we would only have the waste of plant matter. It's not as rich and nutritious for the plant. You can use it along with the chicken poop. All those herbivores, don't use the manure alone. Mix the bucket of chicken poop with one of the piles. Use this portion that's got chicken poop mixed in it. Fill the bags 2/3 of the way. You now take a bowl of water, about 2 liters, and put it in each bag, because you want to water it, let the bottom part be wet, and then you put the rest of the soil. The part without the chicken poop will be used for the top. You plant your yam and then water your yam. When you water your yam, don't use a sort of a sprinkler. I know that's very convenient, but try to use a bucket system. And the bucket system is put that water into a bucket and you use a bowl. You use a small bowl, could be a 1 liter bowl. Take the water and pour in each bag, so you are sure you've given each bag a liter of water. Because if you're sprinkling it, you don't know how much water you've given. One, it may be just in an area where it keeps receiving a lot of water, and one may be in an area where it's dying because it's not receiving enough water. You want to make sure all your yams receive the water. Also, when you want to fertilize, we put it in a bucket so you know you've given each one of them the amount of fertilizers that's at least enough for them to give us the quality of the yam that we want. The 5th tip is to get healthy yam seedlings or healthy yam cutting. This need to have broken dormancy. That is, it's already starting to grow. When you put it in the soil, farm it down properly. We need bamboo poles about 3 meters to 4 meters. It's between 9 and 12 feet. We want it to be very tall because we want the leaves of the yam to be high up there, receiving sunshine. Dig this into the soil, not inside the bag, into the soil, so that when the yam comes out of the soil as a vine, you will lead it to go around the stake. If you wait for 2-3 weeks, all your yam vines might be out and they will all be twisted together. If you're not trying to loosen them up or twist the vines that have got twisted together, these vines may be breaking, and that is a setback for your yam. So please make sure on the day you put your yams into the soil, you have the stake in the soil as well. With these long poles, you also need an 80 centimeter pole, just about this. Remember, the bag is about 70 centimeters in depth. You place the 80 centimeter pole or a pipe in the bag. The purpose of the pole inside the bag is a spacer. You should be able to wiggle the bamboo pole out. You can put in a little, with some leaves, some grass, something that will decompose. But this is a space that you want to create in your yam bag so that the yam can be able to expand without feeling too tight, too narrow. So your yam can expand downward into the hole and sideways. Number 7, pour in that first pile of soil that has chicken poop. Fill the bag 2/3 of the way and pour a bowl of water, about 2 liters. This will firm the soil down, and then you don't need to water it all the way down again when you put the yam in. And put the soil without the chicken poop in it on top and plant your yam inside that medium at the top, because you don't want to plant your yam in the chicken poop from the very first day. At least you want the roots to be growing a bit before it hits the chicken poop, and then it starts to grow downwards, trying to reach for the region where there is chicken poop, where there's a lot more nourishment. After you've put your yam in the soil, you need to farm it down again because it needs resistance. It's like placing something on top of it so that it has to force its way out of the soil. So don't make your soil loose in the bag, because you may be considering, oh, I haven't got enough soil, I'll just manage this. You need to pile it down into the bag a bit so that the yam has to strain to grow bigger inside the bag. That's how to get the very best yam. Then you water the yam in and place some mulching on top with some leaves, some grass, so that the sun doesn't start beating down on it. You know, it's just starting to come out. That's still very tender. You want to have it covered. Water your yam every other day or 3 times a week. This is the best for the yam because it's in bags. There's only so much soil to the yam. So you need to keep on watering it because the soil will get dry quicker than if it was in the ground. Your yam can grow out as a single tendril with no leaves, but this is normal. It's just developing roots and the leaves will come along later. Lead this onto the poles and let them carry on towards the sun. Fertilizing the yam is every week or every fortnight. It depends on the instructions that you find on your different NPK fertilizer that you buy. Please follow the instructions. The fertilizers will go into the soil and the yam roots can also get there, so it's not being wasted. When you water your yam, make sure there isn't too much runoff. It should sink into the soil so that the roots can get watered. The third form of feeding we have for our yams is foliar spray. It's a form of fertilizer that is called for foliar feeding. You put this in a foliar spray bottle. It's just a bottle that can spray a liquid. If you buy a foliar spray bottle, it's alright. Then you can just spray the leaves both at the top and below. If you don't buy a foliar spray bottle, you can use a large water bottle, like the pure water bottle. Mix the foliar spray, put it in the bottle, have some holes on the top and just splash it onto the leaves. It does the same job. But if you're using a foliar spray bottle, you have to wash it before you use it, just to ensure that someone has not gone and used it for a pesticide somewhere and you are not aware, because the pesticide will be a big danger to your yams. So one advantage could be using a fresh bottle every time. Finally, sweep up everything around your garden. The soil that you've just mixed that is left over, and put them all into one container or 2, whatever number of containers that can contain it. Because as the yam is growing, it's growing downwards, it's expanding sideways, it will also be coming upwards. Your yam will start to stick out of the soil, so you will now have soil to be topping up the yam. This will happen in about the 4th month. When the first month it's germinating, the second thing is it starts to produce leaves. After that, when it starts to grow the yam in the 3rd month, the yam can be growing and sticking out of the soil. You need to put more soil onto the top of the yam. Put more soil. Don't let the head of the yam be exposed at all. You need to have some soil left over that you have set up, kept it in one side. Make sure whatever container you keep it in has holes, so it doesn't now have rain and then it becomes soggy. The soil should still be healthy. Water and rain should pass through the container, so you have healthy soil. You can just use a shovel and put some soil onto your yams. I hope you can get the best out of these tips and grow a successful yam like this. Thank you for watching and bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.